Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.
Welcome to therockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, The Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Moe, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has
Hey
been...
guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos.
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Moe, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Halloween. I hope you have a chance to join with us and enjoy some outstanding curling action in between the little ghosts and goblins that'll be arriving at your door over the next little while. It is the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic here at the Saville Curling Center in Edmonton, and everything comes at you fast in mixed doubles, including a 5 o'clock start, in which case they threw the first stones at 4:53. So we're already underway here in the first end of play. Sean Joyce, happy to be with you here for this action. And round robin play, the team of Miyu, Ueno, and Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi out of Japan. This is their second game. They played in draw one just a little while ago. Facing another young Edmonton team, Rachel Jacques and Will Butler. They were off in the opening draw. This is the first draw for them. And we've got a cluster of rocks in the forefoot already. It is the team of Ueno and Yamaguchi with last rock here, throwing the reds. And sitting one right now on the corner of the button, the angle on the yellow at the top of the forefoot in a good position. And it looks like Tsuyoshi going to try to come down, maybe get to the inside of that yellow and change the angles a little bit. Plenty of room by the guard. We were noticing in the earlier draw, a lot of late movement. You'll see draws that come by a guard like that and can still maybe end up peeking out a bit in the open. This one running just a little straighter. Gets nice line to the yellow, but still lined up to tap red onto yellow onto shot. So much of the play in the doubles is not just about what you can make, it's also what you're going to leave behind. So when he's trying to play, Will Butler in the hacks, trying to play this red-yellow tap, he's also going to try to leave his shooter angled onto the red in such a way that it maybe can't be made again. Rachel Jacques making her way down. She's going to sweep on this one. Young team here from Edmonton representing University of Alberta. So no doubt with this particular team that the Saville Center will be their home club. A lot of Edmonton teams in the event this weekend. Gets just to the inside of the red ever so slightly. Taps the yellow up. Close, but I think the yellow is probably shot rock. The yellow-red combination still goes on to the yellow stone that was just tapped up. Easiest way to get to that, though, is to run the guard straight back, and that is what Ueno and Yamaguchi have got lined up here. Straight back would be close. Maybe a sliver to the broom side, if anything. Possible every rock in play could be moving on this one. Going to need to come up just a bit. Hangs out a little too straight. We'll run the guard by everything. Indication from Jacques is that they're going to look to put the guard back. Close for shot now, as I do think it's the yellow that's shot rock. But again, I think when you run the guard back, there's a chance all of the rocks in the rings move. You're not going to get them all out, but I think every one of them is going to get moved. Like this guard to split the center. It's already getting a little tight for line. If this over curls, they will not have to run it back. They can go after that stone at the 8-foot directly. And that's what's going to happen. This makes it a lot easier to make sure you make contact. Yellow onto red, onto the yellow behind it. It comes off the other yellow, and I don't think there's room to get it between those two reds. It's probably touching both of them. But, if you're the Japanese team here, I think you have to play this shot. It's the only way you need two shots right now to get that yellow out of the top corner of the button. This is the first one. The yellow may still be shot rock after this throw, but right now you don't have a way to get it out. I don't think there's any question they're playing the shot. They're just trying to decide how these are going to come off. That the yellow combination at the T line, when it makes contact of that, it's going to come across. And the question then is, how thick is it going to hit the yellow stone, or pardon me, the red stone on the T line? If it just touches the back end of it, it might spin a bit off that other one. To me, it looks like it's going to go into it pretty solidly, though. This will have some pace on it. Yamaguchi with the big weight, getting up to brush. Makes the contact. It does go pretty solidly into that side one, but leaves 4 reds in the rings. It is the yellow, however, at the back corner now of the button, sitting shot rock. Slightly cornered on the one behind it. There is a way to get it out now, at least. Butler and Jacques looking at just throwing a straight guard. They've got to be a little careful here. There's a double there on the yellows for 4 or 5 if you hold the shooter. I'm surprised that Miyu Ueno is actually standing over there looking at it, because I don't think Butler and Jacques have seen it. If they were to see that shot, I think you come in here. ultimately, maybe that's what they decided anyway. I mean, you could accomplish the same thing. Put this in the top of the 8-foot. This is going to be a little deep, though. Will chip off the red. Certainly cuts down the potential for the end. Actually, might have worked out really well. You come down to the nose of the red, put red onto yellow. I think the yellow clips the red at the back. And I don't think the shooter is in far enough to get second shot. Probably have to try to get throwing the out turn at it, get just across the face, put the red onto the yellow, and you need to be across the face enough that you can roll into the 4-foot enough to get second shot. You're going to lose your red at the back of the 4-foot. This looks like she might be trying to hit maybe 3/4 broom side, just clip the yellow behind it, try to miss the one at the back of the 4-foot altogether, and then have your shooter come into that yellow at the side of the 4 and get your 2 that way. We'll know which way they're going when we see how hard she comes out. It's a quieter shot if you're trying to come across the face. So it does look like she's trying to cross it just a hair. Got to get by the front one. She does. Now, will it finish enough to roll in? It's close. Could have used just a little bit more curl. This is going to be really close. They might have to measure this. I think it looks red. And he did indicate 2, so a nice shot by Miyu Ueno with her final stone. They pick up the deuce. They've got the 2-0 lead. Jacques and Butler will have last rock in the second.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Second end underway here. Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. Ueno and Yamaguchi coming off of a win in their opening round. Pick up the deuce with last rock in the first end. Jacques and Butler now trying to answer back, and you can see already Ueno with a nice draw to the back of the 4-foot, lined up to that stone to the back of the 4. Good position for that opening stone for the Japanese pair. Still Butler staying close on this one, but it does need to curl. Switching around to the offside now. Will come down, nudge that red stone just a little bit. That's actually a very nice shot to move it that far back. Tough to do that when you're trying to maneuver these rocks in the early part of the end. You can't remove anything from play. It's not just a free guard zone. It's free everything in doubles, and nice to tap that back, because as the play gets clustered around the forefoot, it does get very difficult for the team with last rock to find some scoring area. Yamaguchi looking to sit right on top of the yellow. He'll nudge it back a couple of inches as well. I think just far enough that the red is shot. It's tough to tell. Will force Butler to come around the other side now. And again, he would probably like to move this if he could. It's not going to look great from the hacks, but from what we saw in the early draw, lots of movement around the guards. He can easily get to enough of that red stone to move it back on a bit of an angle, try to keep his shooter right there at the top of the forefoot. Line already looks tight to the guard. Rachel Jakes on the brush, has not left it all the way down. I think just feather ticked it enough to straighten it out. Still going to touch the red stone, but spills off and to the back of the forefoot. Red definitely shot rock now, and there's a pocket behind the button. Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi, the out-turn draw. Just needs to sit in the pocket of those yellows. Doesn't really need to move anything. If he moves the outside one a little bit just to even up the two yellows, he'll be okay with that. Just don't want to move anything too much here. Right now, the best part of this situation in the house for Ueno and Yamaguchi is that you get anything in front of this, and it's really hard to get it out. This has got a curl. Didn't get the line they would have liked there. If he gets a little bit more to the inside, it's really tough to get that rock out. You can't throw it with big weight right now, but I think with the amount of curler is there, there's room to get to basically the crotch of the two reds. Even if you don't move them all the way out of the forefoot, you can certainly get them to where there's room to pass them through. Rachel almost looks like she's thinking to get to the one that was just thrown first. I think you want to rub the other one first and then kick that one more sideways if you could. Certainly he had the line last time to do it if they get by. We'll need just a little bit more weight than the last one. He's got to move something on this shot. Doesn't need big weight. Needs to move him a couple of feet. Probably back 8. Will Butler with the throw. A little bit more positive on the release this time, and nothing out of Rachel on the brush. He's got a lot of room. Now sweeping for curl. It is moving. Has to get to the inside of that red stone. Just not going to. Stays on the outside of it. Ueno Yamaguchi sitting 2 right now. Might have room to draw a third one in. The only shot I see really for Butler and Jacques is to try to slash the yellow one in really thin. If you can get to the pocket, you can take that away. The pocket, meaning the pocket formed between the yellow at the top 4 foot and the red just on the other side of the guard. Tsuyoshi feeling it looks just a little bit easier from the in-turn side. Certainly he's got room to be heavy on this side. If you're heavy on the other side, you might stay on the yellow and tap it at an angle that's not so good. Still a lot of room on this one. Starting to move now. Wants to get to the inside of his red if he can. Also wants to get to the top of the 4 foot. Boy, that's pretty good. Might have left it just a little high. There's probably still enough room to slash that yellow in. Mind you, even if you make it on the first one, I'm not sure how you're ever getting a second point. You got to slash the yellow very thin, come off the top of the one at the side of the button, then it should spin into the other one. Now that red stone on the tee line isn't going very far. It's going to have to kill something yellow behind it. I think that's what they're seeing. I'm just not sure what weight they're talking about playing this with. I think you have to move some rocks here just to make sure you have a chance to score. The 2 reds at the top aren't going anywhere. But if you don't move those yellows at the back of the 4 foot, this red stone's never leaving. The thinner you can hit this yellow stone, the better. And you still need to hit it with a little bit of weight. Try to move some of the backing. And see if you can do something with the angles in the house as well. Everything favoring the reds right now. This is a thin angle on the yellow stone at the top of the 4 foot. Try to get it in between, maybe rattle off those reds a little bit and then change the angles in the 4 foot. On the brush right away. Needs this thin. He's going to get too close to the nose. It will actually spin the red back up and the yellow pops to the outside edge of the 4 foot. Red sitting 3 right now. And I think nose hit that stone. They're even talking about hitting the outside one and rolling in. I'd be tempted to hit the 4th shot. Nose hit it or roll in. And I don't know how you don't steal. It's just a question of how many. You can do it with the outside one too. You can make the hit on the one in the 8 foot, roll across, Stay corner frozen on the inside of the yellow in the forefoot. You'll still be sitting 4. And I don't know how you get rid of any more than one of them. The only way you leave yourself any trouble here is if you don't roll far enough. You could even roll into your own, move them a little bit. I don't think you're going to hurt the angles too bad. But if you were to nose hit, there might be an in-off on one of these 2 stones. On the brush, coming down, going to be a little thin on it, comes across and wiggles right into the button area. That is an outstanding shot. Now, how many are you going to steal? The stone at the top of the forefoot's never going anywhere. I think you're going to be hard pressed to get more than one red one out of there. They were looking at if they got right to the nose of the red, what would happen. The problem is you can't get right to the nose of the red, so your shooter's going to roll even if you made that. You're still only killing one red. Rachel's wondering if we hit everything we can see of the red on the outside, and so they can see almost 2/3. The one at the back of the button goes for sure. If you hit that 2/3, can you make the first one spin enough to cut them to a steal of 2? Tough shot, but probably all she's got. Trailing by 2 already and hoping to cut this to a steal of 2 on the brush right away. Has to get by the front one. The stone at the top of the forefoot. Oh, did. Catches it. It spins. I don't know if it moved far enough, though. Boy, that was a great try. Couldn't have done any better than that. So it looks like maybe the yellow on the side was already beating the red at the top. Could she have cut this to 1? Wow, wouldn't that be a huge shot? They are going to measure these stones. Outstanding shot by Rachel Jacques to potentially cut this down. She might have cut it to a single. The way they kicked the 2, the one off at the top of the forefoot, I think right now it's only 1 and they're measuring for 2. Do the best we can to see the measure around the glare. Hard to see past the heads, though. So the first point was at the yellow, but it must be close. They're going to pass them by again. So it looks like it is the yellow. She moved it far enough to cut out those 2, and if they had the one at the front beat, it might just be a steal of 1, and if that's the case, Ueno and Yamaguchi will take a 3-0 lead into the third. Jacques and Butler will have last rock after having dodged a bit of a bullet there.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Well, while we were in the break, they did hang two there. I'm still going back to the replays myself. It does look like they pointed at the yellow after the measure, so that red at the top of the rings must have been the 2, and that measure was for 3. Regardless, it is 4-0 now as we begin play here in the third end, and the freeze attempt to start the end ends up a little offline. Still an outstanding shot with her last one by Rachel Jacques in the second to cut the damage. Coming up short on the attempted freeze there. Now things are getting a little congested around the middle already. Yamaguchi will try to come around from the other side, get another stone into the forefoot, perhaps in front of the tee line this time. And that intern side is already pretty well blocked off with that last stone coming up short. Yamaguchi working hard on the brush here. Needs to get this into full 4 to have shot or second. And it's going to over curl on him a bit, so they let it come to rest. It's still in a good position, but there is room for Will Butler to get in there around it. Probably can't move the red stone off the back of the button right now, but if he sets up a good angle, there's still a potential to move it later on. No time clocks here in use at the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. That does factor in as they get to play some of these events later on when they have to play under the time pressure. It is, this game, the doubles format itself, almost a little too rushed. It is nice to at least have somebody to take a look in the house here, and they're taking advantage of the fact that there are no clocks. Rachel's staying down to put a broom down and then make her way down to brush. This is not going to get by again, coming up light. Spun over enough that there's a bit of a port. It's tough to get in there, though. Yamaguchi's first thought is to come around from the outside. You have to be a little bit careful here. The only guard they've got really available for the run back is the one that was just thrown. So you come half around it, there's a chance they run it back, and if you leave this in the wrong spot, you could leave them a run double. They looked briefly at coming around from the other side. The result's better on the other side, but it's a much tougher shot. Now looking at the port, no, they're going to stick to the original call, which is to come wide around the yellow. Yamaguchi with the throw, and now with the brush. Plenty of room coming by that yellow. Just not getting the finish they were hoping for here. He'll end up just behind the tee line and full 8 foot. The one thing about that draw is because it didn't get the finish, it can't leave Butler and Jacques feeling good about coming wide around it. So Rachel lining up the double peel, and she'd like to drive the red across the top of the yellow, have it come back and at least disturb that red at the top of the 4 foot. Could get a few moving here, depending on how you make contact with the yellow. Nothing on the brush yet. This is going to need to come up a bit. Oh, a little bit of pinball being played there. Made contact with the red guard, came across thin and got the other yellow pushing it into the house. That's still better than it was. The yellow-red combination at the front probably makes contact with the ones at the back. And I think everything spills that way. The angles are certainly getting interesting in the house. Ueno and Yamaguchi sitting one right now, and Yamaguchi to throw, looking with the outturn draw. I think looking to come in straight. If there's an argument to be made for if you could tap the yellow red and change the angle, you could sit two that way. No, he's playing a straight guard. I thought he might come in and try to move something. Rachel looking at the double on the reds. Looks flat, but if you think about it, think of where the first yellow is going to be when it makes contact with the first red. It's high enough you could come into the second red. You could play the straight draw for now. knowing that that double, if it comes down to it, that double at the back of the forefoot could be for an extra, well, maybe 2 points if you can do it without disturbing your yellow. You'd like to get something in front of the tee line here first. Will Butler going to try to make the out turn draw. Rachel close on the brush, waiting for it to curl, starting to move now. Still got room. Line's looking pretty good. Now it's a question of the weight. Line's looking really good. This might be a little strong, though. Needs to dig in. Comes right down to the face of that red stone. Does sit shot rock. Probably took away any chance he's got to ever play that double, so that the stone at the back is probably not coming into play now. For Ueno now, it looks like just try to follow this down, stay a little in front of it, block the path for any potential second point. Still a really good shot by Will Butler. You wanted to be shot rock there, but if he could have been 8, 9, 10 inches shorter of that, he might have left a little bit more room for them to get a second or third point. If this is made, they might just have to throw it away and take their one. This is curling a lot. Have to make sure they're by the front. Boy, outstanding patience on the brush there. Does get by the front yellow. Now, is there enough button left to score a second point? There might be. Boy, it's not going to look good from the hacks. You take a look at the hack end of this. It's got to finish after it gets by that red stone. So it'll need a little spin at the end to have enough button to score. It's a straight draw, though. You're never going to throw this hard. I can't imagine any way you hurt yourself on this. So give it a chance. Try to put it on the tee line and hope you get that last little bit of movement just as it comes by the red stone. Made an outstanding shot with her final stone in the last end. That, a big double. This time she needs a very precise draw. Will Butler on the brush. Rachel indicating it's got lots of room. Starting to curl now, but it's going to need to move a lot. This was something we saw earlier in the end, a wide draw that just didn't finish. That's the red stone that this one comes down to. It'll be just the single point, but Jacques and Butler on the board now. It's 4-1 after 3 ends of play. Ueno and Yamaguchi with last rock in the fourth.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Sean Joyce with you here live from the Saville Center in Edmonton, right by the University of Alberta campus and the University of Alberta pairing of Rachel Jacques and Will Butler picking up a single point in the third end to close the gap a little. It is Ueno and Yamaguchi with last rock, though, here as we begin play in the fourth. Round-robin action here at the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. 24 teams, pools of 4. And they're playing across pools, so the A pool playing the B pool to get their 4 games in, and it will be the top. I was going to say top 8. That's not always a given in mixed doubles, and I haven't looked at the playoff format yet. But looking to get through to the playoff round on Sunday anyway. Starting to get a lineup at the back of the forefoot already here in this fourth end. Team of Butler and Jake's sitting one already, looking to get something in front of that little wall that's forming back there. Playing it from the intern side, would probably like to get to the top corner of the button. Then that wall of 3 rocks at the back, going to make it very difficult to remove this stone. He's got a nice line coming in. Like to keep this just in front of the tee line. It will slide all the way to the backing. Does sit 2 for now, but has left room for Yamaguchi to get down on top of those 2 stones. I do think if he comes right to the face, he'll be just behind the tee line. Hard to be sure of that, though. Line coming up nicely. We'll nudge it just a little bit, and he is still partially in front of the tee line. Looks to have the pin covered. There is room, however, to move it. Actually, you could probably get there from either turn, but it looks more natural to come around from the out turn side. That's what Rachel is looking at. Won't be looking to move it very far. You just need to move it an inch or 2 to have your shooter be shot rock. one's going to over curl just a little bit. It does nudge that red stone. Leaves the red as shot right now, and the yellow in a strong position at the top of the button. Ueno Yamaguchi shot, but that yellow stone on the red and with the angles that are behind it, that's the danger stone. They're trying to decide what they can do with it, and I'm not sure they can do a lot with it. Maybe try to get an angle on it themselves. The gestures in the ice or on the ice made it look like they were originally looking at moving that. You start tapping it around, it's just going to create a wall where that yellow doesn't leave. And you saw the indication there, the final tap of the ice. They just want to put this top four, leave some separation between the red and the yellow. I would have to think, ideally, you'd like to split center on this too, so that it's angled to push red onto yellow and then push the yellow towards the outside edge of the forefoot, not in towards the pinhole. Still plenty of room. Doesn't want to disturb that yellow, I don't think. Gets that nice little bit of curl at the end and right on the face of it. That's not bad. Rachel looking at the run back. It is their guard. They're running back. You could get a lot of reds flying here. 2 stones left to come for each team. Ueno and Yamaguchi do have last rock here. Problem with the run back, as I see it anyway, is that everything's going to fly and the yellow's going to pop out into the open. You can get rid of the reds. You can certainly cut the amount of damage they can do, but I think you take yourself out of a steal situation. If you could ever come down and just tap those a few inches, you might leave with your yellow so well frozen on the red that they don't have enough time left to get it out. I think that's what they've settled on. Come down, try to tap red onto yellow onto the red that's corner frozen on the yellow. It's going to spin a little bit. You don't have to move it very far, but because you're moving 4 rocks, you're still probably going to need, well, back 4 to almost back 8 to move the red far enough to leave the yellow sitting shot rock. It's really easy to underthrow this. Because in your mind, you're thinking you only need to tap it 2 inches, but you need to move 4 rocks and still get the frozen one to move 2 inches. And that's where you need that little bit extra weight. Rachel switching around to the curl. Needs to get as close to the nose as they can on the first one, too. Would like to be just a little bit high side. Line is coming nicely now. It's all going to be a question of weight. I'm not sure he's got the weight to move this far enough. Yeah, he touched all 4 stones, but really hard to tell from here who's got shot rock. And it's not a whole lot easier as we as we look closer. It's close. We could be seeing we could be looking at another measurement here. Three more rocks yet to come before we worry about that. But I'll tell you what, here's the issue for Ueno and Yamaguchi. Right now, if you don't throw, Rachel Jacques can make that tap from either side. She can make the yellow one. It's tougher to make it red onto yellow, but there's still a piece of that red sticking out. So she can make the tap from either side. It's really hard to take it away with one shot. I'm not sure with that ice what they're playing here. Is he trying to come to the side of the button and sit two that way? That's a possibility. Tough shot. But if you feel like you can't do anything about the ones at the top, maybe that's what to do. Try to get in there, sit two right now. This is really curling. Has to get by his own. You touch the red, you could actually make the shot for them. It's going to touch the yellow, touch the red. Well, it matters who's got shot, but it also matters how these are going to fly. If you hit that red right on the nose, the one that was just thrown, it's still catching the one on the center line. It drags down a bit. It's going to make contact with that yellow stone for sure. But then how do they fly in the house? That's the question. Like if you're playing that, I think you want to keep your shooter right there so they don't have a way in. If the yellow's already shot, you don't need to move these rocks. This looks like a draw, maybe some kind of a guard. So maybe they think the yellow's already shot rock. And I would wager no matter what happens here, the last stone at the end, the red stone, is probably just going to get thrown away. Rachel Jacques just looking to protect and will. They're going to take another look to try to determine who's got shot rock, but I don't see how you can get that yellow out with one. And if you try to smash anything in there, there is a chance that a lot of reds move. They're pointing at the yellow. They think yellow is shot. Could you get to the red at the back of the button? That's what they're looking at. If you touch the red at the back of the button, it's coming off the yellow behind it, and it doesn't have to spin very far. So they're basically looking to just touch the side of that red stone at the back button. It will touch the yellow stone that's behind it and actually spin up, and they might be able to get shot rock that way. Just a heavy draw. If they think the yellow's already shot, they can't hurt themselves doing this. Just looking for the feather tick. Yamaguchi staying in the house to call line on this one. Final stone on its way. Ueno Yamaguchi with a 3-point lead as we play here in the fourth. This, the final stone, appears to be facing one and looking to just rub the edge of their own stone and see if they can't promote it in for shot rock. This is close. It's real close. Touched it. But I don't know that they got any spin. If anything, might have touched it a little too thick. And yes, they have called for yet another measurement. This is close. Not going to be easy getting the stick in on that one. And so it will be a steal of one. Jacques and Butler picking up another single point here in the fourth. They close the gap a little more. It's 4-2 after 4 ends of play. Ueno and Yamaguchi with last rock in the fifth.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
4-2 now as we begin play here in the fifth, looking for the freeze. This is already over curled. They're going to be onto their own guard. A little light as well this time. Does leave a double center, but it gives Ueno a chance to get around the cover into the top of the 4-foot area. Sit 2 before Jacques and Butler can get anything into the rings. Opting for the outturn, Yamaguchi on the brush. Yamaguchi probably not trying to come down to that one right now. You'd like to get something in front of the tee line behind all those guards. Sit 2. Both teams struggling to find the weight a little bit. This starting to curl now, though. Boy, starting to move big now. This is dying on him. Can he get it there far enough to be shot? Second shot rock. Oh, outstanding shot. Picked up the brush just in time. Ueno Yamaguchi sit 2. Rachel looking at a corner freeze, but I'm not sure that corner freeze would get you second shot, and there's a danger that you leave an angle, yellow onto red onto the yellow at the back. All the yellows could leave, and you could leave them sitting 4. You got to be real careful with this. I'm a little surprised they didn't at least look at, not that they necessarily play it, but that they didn't at least look at the red-yellow rays, because that's the only way you're moving both of these reds out of the top of the button. Now, if you make a good freeze here, that run is still there, and it's probably a little easier to make if you can form a pocket at the top of the button. Not sure if you get second shot on this one yet or not, though. Definitely tighter line early. Gonna have to go not just to get by, but also the rocks and the rings. I don't think this is getting by the front ones. Now, what is it going to change with those angles? Yeah, it overlapped everything. There's nothing good in front now for Butler and Jacques. So for Yamaguchi, really, I think all he's got left, that's what they were deciding, and think that all they've got left really is to try to come down to the Yellowstone at the back. It's the only way they can get in far enough to be sitting third shot right now. On the brush a little early just to hold it out there. Starting to curl big. This is going to come up short. So just trying to take away the path now. Get a little bit of an overlap so there's no kind of run back available. Dangerous to play. They've only got one yellow they could run back. Dangerous to play it when it's coming from that side. It's very easy to put a red onto the yellow at the back and leave them sitting 3, plus make the last shot easier. Right now it's a tough deuce, or pardon me, a tough triple. The deuce is already established. There's a shot on either side. The best you could do is try to take one of them away. She's looking at playing the run back. It is not without risk. And I'm not sure how much reward there is either, to be honest. It's not like you're making a run double and sticking it there. That's not an option. They're just not, the angle's not right for that. So I think what they've decided to do is just play a guard of some sort on this side, take away the draw path. Miyu Ueno still going to have the same shot, the same attempt that Yamaguchi just tried. Just cleaning this, just wants to protect against the draw path. This is in danger of overcurling. Well, it did. It definitely overcurled. So there's room to get there from either turn now. Now, they did just play this out turn. They're going to play it again. There is, I guess, a chance from the out turn side. Room on the in turn, you could come around the in turn and get to what you can see of the button in front of your own stone for 3. This out turn, and it's been the turn they've played all end. If you ever got tight by your own at the top of the button and wiggled the 2 at the back of the forefoot, there is probably a chance that the yellow goes farther than the red. But you're playing this as a straight draw. You're only sweeping to tap that if the line's perfect. Already with a 2-point lead, sitting 2. This is a draw for 3. Yamaguchi staying close on the brush, but he's got to wait for it to start to curl. Starting to move now. Starting to move. trying to help it over. He's got to get close to the face of that yellow, tight by his own. Oh boy, what an outstanding draw. She will come down to the face of the yellow and picks up 3 with a fist pump from Yamaguchi. And the high five. They now take a 7-2 lead into the 6th end. It'll be Butler and Jacques with last rock when we come back for the 6th, and I expect they'll talk about whether or not to use the power play. We'll find out in just a moment.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So indeed, we see the power play being used here by Jacques and Butler, needing to generate a little bit of offense, and the defensive play to that is to try the corner freeze. I've got nicely onto the face of the yellow, but I think it overcurled. I think the yellow still shot rock for now. I still think the yellow is shot. This is a risky call here. You got to stay on the corner of the red. You'd like to be sitting 2. They can't hit yet regardless, but you don't want to set up a double on the yellows later, so you really have to be careful about not bouncing off here. Had to wait a bit for it to curl. Now it's going absolutely sideways. Definitely overcurling what they had in mind. Hoping it would stop for a second corner guard. It's going to stay just outside of the rings. It leaves a staggered corner, but there's access to that red stone for Yamaguchi to perhaps bump it. Doesn't need to move it very far and can sit 2. Cannot remove it from play yet, but looking to come down, touch red onto yellow, move the yellow back a little bit. Moves it an inch or 2, he sits 1. If he moves it maybe about a foot, he can probably sit 2 on this. Coming up nicely. Looks like it's got good line. Maybe needs to finish just a little bit. We'll come down, nudge the red onto the yellow. I'm not sure he moved it far enough. He's got shot at the front of the front of the 8 foot, I think, but the second shot rock is the yellow on the tee line. And I think you might be able to get enough of that red stone to double the 2 reds. Don't think you want to throw this with a ton of weight yet, though. You don't need to kill them. You'd like to get that one in the top of the 8 foot to just come back, rub the one behind it, and then maybe come over behind the tee line as well. Rachel staying close. She must like the weight, but they got to wait for it to curl a little bit. Has to get really close to the nose on this redstone. Boy, that's going sideways again on the way in. They're going to over curl it altogether. Touches their own tight guard and nudges the red up ever so slightly. Well, not a disaster, not a total disaster. There's still a couple of ways to get that red out. Just hard to spin another one in. The second red is actually going to be the hard one to remove, and that makes that Yellowstone in the 12-foot tough to get it back into the house far enough to bring it back onto the scoreboard. For now, Ueno Yamaguchi looking at just split the house, sit 2. Yamaguchi likely looking to put this somewhere in the back of the 4-foot, so there's no double off of it. Yeah, that's pretty good placement. So now the question for Butler and Jacques and good on them. They're going to make some kind of play on the corner. You can deal with that one in the middle later. You have to find a way to bring these rocks in the corner back into play first. I don't think they can see enough of the redstone directly to make a double on the reds on the corner. You could see enough of that tight yellow guard to run it into the yellow, kill the red second shot stone, but I don't know if the yellows are going to spill in at all. It doesn't look like it. They have called timeout here. Pointing from that far back, it's hard to know what they're looking at. There is a possibility if you could hit what you could see of that redstone in the 8-foot, your shooter might come across and double out the one at the back of the 4-foot. Now, the first red's going to jam on the second one. Is there a chance that gives you the angle you need to get it out later? Maybe. When it jams, who's got second shot? That's hard to tell. I have to think they're making a play on the 4 stones over on the right somehow. You could come after that red direct, hit it thin, have your shooter come across and double out the one that was just thrown. That should double out 2 reds. It'll take out the what is now 4th shot, the shot rock and the 4th shot rock. The question is, where is that middle red going to stay when it jams? Are you going to have a shot to get it out? Yeah, that might be the shot. It's tough, but that might be the shot. There's going to be some kind of rays available, yellow onto the red that gets left there. That looks like they're talking about drawing around that corner. I think if you're drawing over there, you still want to chisel that red a little bit to try to sit second and third. That's not bad. Actually, you come down, nudge that red just a little bit, sit second and third, and it might line up the yellow onto reds to double the 2 reds at the side. So looking to draw here, see if they can't get something in a spot where it's tough to remove. Still trying to set up 2 or perhaps 3 here with that couple of yellow stones that are already difficult to remove, just tough to bring them back into the scoring zone. Would love to just rub that red on the way by. This is going too sideways for that. It's going to end up cornered to the yellow. So Yamaguchi and Ueno continuing to sit 2, and now do you bring a third one in, or do you just straight guard? They're looking at bringing the third one in. Now it's a question of where do you bring it in? You can't come top 8 foot in front of your own. You might leave a triple. So they're going to look to curl past their own. Full 8 foot at the top. Yamaguchi staying close. Doesn't want to leave this, doesn't want to bring this deep and leave a pocket. Not curling a lot, which maybe indicates that it is a little bit heavy. Starting to come down now, but it will leave a staggered pocket. Well, if Will Butler can follow that stone down and nudge it back about 2 or 3 inches, well, a little bit farther than that, 8 or 9 inches, so that it's dead even with the other red stone, it can be very hard to remove this shooter. Yeah, he's looking at trying to hit the pocket of the 2 that's there. I got to say that looks like a little bit of fool's gold to me, because you're never going to be on the face of the red and they can just blast it out. If you could put this in a spot where they try to blast it and everything goes, then there's some interesting angles at the front as well. That yellow onto yellow would clip the red out, and there's a chance you could spin, just because of the angle, you could spin both your shooter and the top yellow stone into the 8 foot. So any kind of good freeze made here, it limits perhaps at least the weight choice that Ueno might make to try to remove it. Not much out of the brush so far, but she is staying close. Must like the weight. Line's starting to come now. Line's going sideways now. They might have waited too long on this. Needs to stay on the center line side of that red stone, and it's not going to. That has been their trouble this end. They've lost the line on a few. Once they start coming off that center line, they really go hard, and they've had a hard time controlling the line. Ueno is sitting 2 right now. All the discussion here will be about really just how far do they want to roll, how hard do they want to throw it. She could just make sure it goes away. She'd be sitting 3, no chance for any more than 1. But if she could hit this just off the nose, roll to Pretty much even to the one right behind it. She could force a cold draw here because the backing might not be good enough to get shot rock. Shooter will be in front of the tee line if she makes the roll. This has got a curl. Catches one, catches her own. Still sits two, however. Now, is there anything on those angles? I don't think so. So going to opt to play the hit on that red stone. She'll need to stay full 8 foot to pick up the single. Would have liked a little more here with their power play, but facing two, not going to be an opportunity to score more than the single. Cannot afford to roll out here. Rachel Jacques with her final stone, looking for the nose hit. Will Butler cleaning early, just cleaning. Picking up the brush a little more as they cross the hog line. She will hit right on the nose. They pick up the single point here with their power play in the 6th end. Not the power play they were looking for, but it does put a point on the board. They close the gap to 6-3. Ueno Yamaguchi with last rock in the 7th. And again, when we come back from the break, we'll see if they decide to use their power play.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Not really surprised here as we begin the 7th end. The power play in play again. This time Ueno and Yamaguchi using it mostly for defensive purposes. Rachel Jacques and Will Butler need to score here, so they're going to have to ignore the situation on the corner, throw a center guard to start things off. They need to set up a steal, and ideally a steal of 2. Tough to do when the first 2 rocks at the end start out on the corner. And interesting call here. One of the things that you're kind of allowed to do in the doubles situation is they brought the first one into the top of the button because it's not just a free guard zone. You cannot kill that stone. You can try to move it, but you can't kill it. So you throw the one to the top of the button first, and they'll try to guard it on the next one. That's a interesting play. I don't mind it either, because now what you're going to see here is Ueno is going to try to move that stone a little bit. Even if she makes it, now there's 3 stones near the T line in some configuration or another. And when you throw that center guard, there's a lot of shrapnel that it could be peeled into. And this is going to dramatically overcurl and come up short. Not the way you would have expected her to miss that when they were trying to move a stone. So now you throw your guard. And it will make for an interesting situation later on the end if you just play the guard. And because it's a defensive situation, you might be safe in assuming that Yamaguchi will just peel guards for a couple now. But if that red one stays there, keeping in mind that they are down 4 and you might need to steal a deuce. Well, ideally, you'd love to steal a deuce. With your last one, instead of guarding one more time, you might try to come around Christmas tree it at the top of the forefoot and see if you can't get a bit of a mistake. I think for now you're straight guarding yet. Boy, there's dangers. This is going to overcurl as well. You get too close to that red one, you make the double peel really easy. And it overcurled enough that they could go directly after the one in the rings. If they play the double peel, they could play it over the top and come back towards the one in the rings. I think they'll play the open hit. You do have a staggered guard now just off center. I would imagine Tsuyoshi Yamaguchi wants to hit this just off the nose a little bit on the broom side. Roll into full forefoot. Rock he might be able to use later. I don't think he wants to roll behind cover. That'll be a rock they try to freeze to. And he is not generous on the line here. He was on the brush right away. Going to have to go to get by the front one. Oh, just rubbed it. That's going to help him out a little bit. I'm not sure he wouldn't have had air if he doesn't rub that guard. A bit of a cheeky grin at a Yamaguchi. Knows he might have got fortunate there. Still rolled behind cover, and that's a rock that Will Butler might be able to use. Just freeze to it for now is good. They've still got to peel the guards. Great if you can move it, but it's not critical to do it just yet. Basically just coming down to sit on the face of it. If you can move it, great, but you've got to get awfully close to the nose because you have to stay behind cover on this. There is a stagger on those guards, so they're not going to be able to get at you directly. Maybe not at all for the end. I don't know that they'll play the double peel now. Three stones left to come for each team. Big shot here for Will Butler. If you're going to have any kind of chance to steal 2 in this end, you need to lock this one on. Line's coming nice now. Line's coming fantastic. Going to have the line for the face of it. Actually going to curl past it a little bit. So now you've got room to come down on the intern side, move yellow onto red, sit 2 that way. Does mean there's probably not much chance of a dangerous jam in the house right now. So Yamaguchi will make an attempt at the double peel, and that red coming back might clip the yellow in the rings. Try to drive yellow over the top of the red, have it come straight back. The yellow should fly out the side, even if it goes into the other yellow guard. That's not bad for the Japanese pair. He'll have some weight on this one. Makes the hit, does drive it across the face. Oh, a little bit of a bad break in that it comes by the yellow altogether and just picks the red out, but still a better situation. No guards on center. And now I think if you're Butler and Jacques, you want to put the guard. You know, she just pointed. I think they want to be careful here to try to position this right. I think you want to guard half the yellow on the center line side. If he wants to go after the yellow directly, you let him. If he wants to peel the guard, there's a lot of shrapnel back there that he could jam it on, and maybe you have a chance to sit 3 and see if you can't steal 2 that way. Nothing out of the brush early, and Rachel has backed right away. You don't want this into the rings if you can help it. That's going to leave a chance for a double. It's got a curl, though. Going to be a chance for a double without much chance anything is going to jam either. Nose hit. I think they both go. The lower of the two might go into the red on the side, but because it's going to drag a bit, I think it definitely goes underneath it enough that it probably spins back through the back of the house. Very close to the line they needed, just far too heavy. Yamaguchi needs to stay on the nose, maybe just a shade to the broom side. It actually drags underneath the one at the side altogether. So now sitting 3. And not much left to hide behind for Rachel Jacques, looking to come around that stone that's just biting the top of the forefoot. One more look at this. Had the big weight on this one just in case it went into the one on the side. Picking up the brush, wants to stay on the nose, maybe ever so slightly on the shade to the broom side. Actually, you can see it drag quite easily under the one on the side and rolls his shooter over to the center line as well. That's the only rock that they can hide behind and have shot rock, and it's going to be tough to bury at the back of the forefoot around a stone at the top of the 4. If you make it perfectly, it's still going to be a short run back. And if you leave any piece sticking out, it's a hit for 3. Rachel Jacques with her final stone here, the 7th end, trailing by 4, looking to come around a stone at the top of the forefoot, and this is already starting to curl. Will Butler on the brush has to work this hard to get it by the stone at the top of the 4. They got a chance for the line. They got a chance. If he can get it there, does it have enough weight? And no, it's going to come up a little short just beside the other red stone. Red already sitting 1, but it's a nose hit for 4. 3 would be enough to run them out of rocks. Only thing you can't afford to do here, I guess, would be if you overcurled, you might hit the crotch, jam it, and spin out the top. You hit this even on the broom side. Yes, it might go out off the side. It might take the side of the other redstone, but it's still going straight back. It's never coming back to a jam. A chance for Ueno and Yamaguchi to pick up a win in their second game here. They've moved to 2-0 on day one. Looking to be one of the playoff teams. Stone is away. She does hit the outside. Will touch the red stone over, but it stays in play. It's a score of 3. And make the final 10-3. Ueno and Yamaguchi pick up a win in their second matchup. Jacques and Butler, the loss, but that was just their opening game. Still 3 to play for them. We want to thank you for joining us here on the Curling Stadium, Edmonton. You're watching the Saville Mixed Doubles Classic. Action continues on throughout the weekend. Round robin play, 24 teams in 6 pools, looking for spots through to the playoffs on Sunday. My name is Sean Joyce. I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. Another draw coming up in just a little under 2 hours' time, and action continuing all weekend long.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made your way.